And we are underway under leaden skies here in northern Wisconsin. That is Lionel James at the 6. Cuts it back across midfield to the Packers' 45-yard line where Mike McLeod rolls him under. So for Lionel James, the little train, his biggest return as a pro.
Of course, this is the absolute worst thing you can do when you're playing against the Chargers, is to give them good field position to start. Their offensive is prolific enough without letting them start with the ball inside your territory. So I can imagine that Kellen Winslow, Fouts, Joyner, and Chandler are licking their chops right now.
Well, the Chargers began the season against Minnesota with a gadget play. Good field position to try something right here. But Fouts is looking downfield. Looks right, goes left. That's Winslow. He's got it and is separated from the football at the 21-yard line. An incomplete pass. It is Tom Flynn, the safety, who put the hammer on Kellen Winslow.
Well, the Packers in a double zone defense. That means Flynn and Mark Murphy are playing the deep middle part of the field. Winslow coming down the center. I think he knew he was going to be hit, but he's a tough player, and he tried to go for it anyway. And we would expect, well, here are the lineups. There's Fouts at quarterbacks, Ernest Jackson, Joyner, Chandler at the receivers, tight end, of course, Kellen Winslow, and Eric Sievers in their 2 tight end offense.
And an awfully good offensive line. Flag down, 3 down for Dan Fouts, and he's looking, unloads, overthrows the wily veteran Charlie Joyner. But the penalty will be against the Green Bay Packers, and Fouts knew it. So while referee Jerry Seaman talks things over with his officiating staff, and it is indeed against the Pack.
Phil, the thing that the Chargers are going to try to do right away is to isolate one-on-one. Listen for the call.
Offside, number 76, defense, still second down.
Now the penalty is against Alfonso Carricker. We'll get to Gene's point in just a moment. The Packers defensively, the front 3, Carricker, the nose tackle is Terry Jones, and the defensive right end is Donnie Humphrey. A couple of very, very good rookies. Second and 5, Fouts. Looks downfield. Winslow's open. He's got the first down and more to the 29-yard line before Mark Murphy drops him, the rookie out of West Liberty State. Well, we showed you the 3 front linemen for the Green Bay Packers. The linebackers, John Anderson, Randy Scott, George Cumbie, and Mike Douglas out of San Diego State. The defensive secondary, and believe me, they will be tested all day long. Lee, Lewis, Mark Murphy, and again another rookie, the 3rd, Tom Flynn, to start for the Packers today. It is 1st and 10 Chargers at the Green Bay 29-yard line.
There is a slight wind, and the Packers are the Chargers will be throwing into that slight wind. Here comes a blitz.
Joyner. Fouts is dropped. Ball overthrown. Joyner drawing double coverage from Tim Lewis and Tom Flynn.
Mike Douglas, the outside linebacker for the Packers, number 53, again coming on the blitz. And nowadays, with the rule changes in the NFL, where the offensive linemen can extend their arms, it's so difficult for the defense to put pressure on the quarterback, not even Dallas, and they've traditionally done it better than anyone else. They can't even do it without blitzing, so we're going to see a lot of that. The Chargers love to see blitzes because Dan Fouts usually can eat it up. We'll see what happens here.
Second down and 10. Well, the Chargers saw an awful lot of blitzing by the Houston Oilers a couple of weeks ago. There's the draw. Ernest Jackson moves it to the 28-yard line before, as he stacked up Cumbie. Donnie Humphrey is in there. Gene, you were talking earlier about what the Chargers will have to do to be effective against Green Bay today. Isolating the receiver against a safety.
Well, what they want to do, and they do it regardless of who they're playing, not only against the Packers, but they use formations and they use motions to create the one-on-one situations. They can get it outside with either Charlie Joyner or Chandler, or they can get it with, of course, the tight end Kellen Winslow. They try to get those one-on-one matchups. If the team doesn't want to go one-on-one, they'll play zone. Dan Fouts is best at picking apart a zone.
3rd down and 8. 3 wide receivers to the top of your screen. Fouts looks left, goes right. That's Duckworth. Touchdown, San Diego. Bobby Duckworth beating Estes Hood in San Diego as they have all year long, Gene, have struck quickly here with 2 minutes gone in the first period.
Well, again, I pointed out the fact that the Chargers want to get the one-on-one matchup. They found it this time, and Fouts, quickly, when he saw that one-on-one matchup, he knew that his fastest receiver, Bobby Duckworth, had the chance for the touchdown.
We welcome those of you who have been watching Miami at Pittsburgh. A blowout there. We are just underway here in Green Bay on the Chargers on a 27-yard strike from Dan Fouts to the speedster Bobby Duckworth. They've just taken a 6-0 lead. Ralph Vanershka tacks on the point after. And with 1:59 gone in the ball game here at Lambeau Field, it is San Diego 7, the Green Bay Packers nothing. Against the Lions in tackle, covers Lofton instantly.
Well, you know, Lofton catches this ball in double coverage, if you can believe it. They're the two defensive backs. Goes down, and he's a very smart receiver. Goes down and makes sure the catch, does a little sliding thing, doesn't bend over and try to catch it with his hands. Gets down and gets his body in between the ball and the ground. Smart play.
The lone setback is Jesse Clark. Two tight ends. Dickey on play action. Looking for the sideline. Lofton is open again, and he beats Danny Walters. Pardon me, that is Gilbert. Now, Gene, we had a feeling that we would not only see the great offenses today, but you have to feel the defensive secondaries of both the Packers and the Chargers are going to be hard-pressed all day long.
Well, during our segment in NFL 84, we talked about the fact that you were going to see the best wide receivers in football as on two teams right here. Play action. Now, this allows time for this pass pattern to develop. It takes a long time. Dickey looked off the free safety. He had the one-on-one matchup. Now, you see Bird coming in there late. The reason he comes in late is that Lofton gave him a good fake to the post. Bird was headed towards the post. Lofton came back to the corner.
A first down at the 20. That's Jerry Ellis. And he is bumped out by Gil Bird inside the 17-yard line near the 16. So Gary Ellis moving the ball inside the 20 down near the 17. It'll be second down now and 7. Defensively, the Chargers, Chuck Ian, Bill Elko, and Keith Ferguson out of Ohio State. The linebackers, King, Mike Green. Boy, what a find out of Oklahoma State. Billy Ray Smith out of Arkansas, and Woodrow Lowe. The defensive backs, as Gene and I said, will be tested all day long. Bird, Walters, Green, and Bob Gregory. Boy, the Chargers defensive secondary has really been hammered all year long. There, the quick hitter that time to Jesse Clark. Second-year running back out of Arkansas. He is swarmed under by Bill Elko.
The Chargers took a chance on that play. They brought a free safety blitz. That was Bob Gregory, number 43, who shot up in the gap. The risk there is that if Ellis, it was Jesse Clark carrying the ball. If Clark breaks through there clean, he runs to the end zone for 6 points.
Lofton is checked out of the ball game, and here comes Jefferson to the sideline. Two tight ends now. Ed West, a rookie out of Auburn, and Paul Kaufman.
3rd and 1.
West, number 86, Kaufman, number 82. 3rd down and 1. Left tackle goes Clark. He has the first down inside the San Diego 10. Gene, this is something the Packers, quite frankly, have had problems doing all year long, moving the football. Rather surprising when you look back at the great success they had a year ago.
Coming into this game, they'd only scored 10 points, Phil, in the first quarter, and I think those 10 came last week down in Tampa. They ran that play that time. I mentioned before, Tim Huffman, the left guard, a big man, 282, was installed a few weeks ago, and they ran the football behind him when they needed to get that short yardage.
First down and goal now from just inside the 10. Dickey wants to put it up. Pass intended for Ellis, and he cannot hold on. Ellis coming into the ball game with 13 catches and a touchdown, had it in his hand. But you have to wonder if perhaps he heard Danny Walters' footsteps.
Well, he's a good receiver. The number 2 receiver, as a matter of fact, on the team with 13 receptions. Last year, he had 603 yards catching the football, so they have an awful lot of confidence in throwing the ball his way.
2nd and 9.
Len Dickey, his numbers an even 50%, but Joe, you don't like that touchdown to interception ratio. On 2nd and goal, Dickey again, sideline. That's Jefferson! He's got it inside the 3-yard line. And boy, Charger fans can identify with that catch from J.J.
Pass completion to Jefferson.
Well, believe it or not, this is not a good pass. Had Dickey thrown a good pass, Jefferson might have scored on this play. He pulls him too far out of bounds. He has a dive for the ball. You see how far back the defensive back is as Danny Walters. If that ball is thrown a yard more in bounds, he might score.
It is now 3rd down and 3. Jefferson, Lofton come out of the ball games. Again, the tight ends. Kaufman, number 82, Ed West, the rookie, number 86, are into the ball game. Jesse Clark and Ellis are the setbacks.
About 3.
Play action. Dickey. Kaufman, touchdown, and flags are all over the playing field. Flags are everywhere.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, Phil. I got a little excited there. But I think it's probably going to be against the Chargers. I think they probably got them for holding.
And whatever the call, it goes against San Diego. And the Packers are on the board.
Very nice play-action fake on the part of Dickey. Let's watch the play-action. I think Gary Ellis was the one that was the person who they were holding. He faked the ball in there, did a good job of faking, then he tried to get out into the pattern and someone held him up. Kaufman coming up with a touchdown.
Well, that's exactly what the Packers were trying to do, is to get a linebacker to cover Paul Kaufman, and they got the coverage. Lyndon King trailing Kaufman by about 3 steps.
Eddie Garcia.
Here's Eddie Garcia. Attempting to tie up this ball game with 10:26 left in the first period. And it is good. So the Chargers, in 1 minute and 59 seconds, score on a 27-yard pass from Fouts to Bobby Duckworth.
Those are difficult questions to answer, but I think a part of it is the fact that they've had some problems in their offensive line play. It all starts there.
Here's Lionel James. He's across the 25-yard line near the 26. And the little train is stopped by Charles Martin. So San Diego with decent field position for the 2nd time in this ball game. 10 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the first period. Lambeau Field is sold out. Nothing new here. Minutes, 15 seconds to play on the first period. Bill Stone and Gene Washington. Certainly want to welcome those of you who are watching Denver and Detroit here. We are deadlocked at 7. Here is Ernest Jackson, sweep right. He turns it up and is bumped out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Tom Flynn, with help from Mark Lee, knock him out. Well, the Chargers, as I said, scored on their first possession. The Packers took the kickoff and went all the way. 74 yards in 8 plays. It only took him a couple of minutes to get there. Dickey, a 3-yard pass to his tight end, Paul Kaufman, who incidentally, Gene, when you talk touchdown to catch ratio, Kaufman has now 5 catches on the year, 3 for touchdown.
Not bad.
2nd down and 7. There goes Jackson, sweep left. And sure-handed tackle by Mark Murphy. And you're looking at a rookie out of West Liberty State, certainly not a school known as a football powerhouse, Gene.
Well, Mark Murphy is known as a tough hitter. He doesn't cover the pass all that well, but when it comes to making tackles, particularly in the open field, not many people do it better than that. Now, the Chargers, interestingly enough, on an obvious passing situation, chose to run the football, and they're doing that more this year. The Chargers are averaging 127 yards rushing. Last year, they only averaged 96. I think they want to try to control the football a little more, and they want to get their running game going, and they have so far this year.
That's Pete Holohan, the 3rd tight end. Fouts the time. There's Holohan. And the thing that made that play work is the pick that Kellen Winslow set for his fellow tight end, Pete Holohan. Mike Douglas, 7th year out of San Diego State, spills Holohan at the 37-yard line.
Seems as though they just create receivers at San Diego. Number 88, Holohan. Many people say he has the best hands of any receiver in all of football. So when you add a player like that to a list of Winslow, Joyner, Duckworth, and Chandler, It's almost a shame to have that much talent.
Well, there's another guy in motion who can catch a ball. That is Eric Siever, but the give goes right up the gut. Power football. And again, it is Ernest Jackson. Ernest Jackson, second year out of Texas A&M. Jackson pressed into a starting role, Gene, when Chuck Muncy left the football team. Pete Johnson traded a couple of weeks ago to the Miami Dolphins. I mean, there were a couple of running backs for the Chargers, and Charger fans expected to see an awful lot of in '84, and now both are gone.
Well, Chuck Muncy is one of the really outstanding football players, running backs to play. I don't think there's any comparison, or you shouldn't compare Jackson to Muncy. But Jackson has a role that he plays on this team, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Fouts, quick hitter. Great rush by Randy Scott, fourth-year linebacker out of Alabama. The pass intended for the tight end Eric Siever. He just quite frankly slipped.
Not only Randy Scott coming in from his inside linebacking position, but again, Mike Douglas. That's the third or fourth time that he's come from his outside linebacking spot on the blitz. Shot of the coaches, Don Coryell there with his back walking away.
Charles Martin, defensive left end, and Ezra Johnson, his 8th year out of Morris Brown, to check into the ball game, number 90 for Green Bay. Third down and 5, San Diego. Packers showing blitz, now back off. Fouts looks right, goes left, screen set up. That's Winslow. Oh, what a block! What a block by Drew Gissinger. And the man he laid it on was Donnie Humphrey. Kellen will be shy of the first down. Tom Flynn, the free safety, up to stop him.
Well, as Fouts sets up this screenplay to Winslow, let's talk about Gissinger, who is playing for the injured Ed White. Watch this block, number 75. Oh, that's pretty. That's nice. Nice block on Charles Martin, the nose tackle.
Now the Pack with a nice job of pursuing Winslow. It'll be fourth down. Maury Buford will kick it away. Maury is longest this year, 60 yards, averaging exactly 40 yards. Back deep is Philip Epps at the 11-yard line, and boy, can he fly. He almost broke one against the Cardinals in the season opener. Not much of a rush. Buford. Short kick. It is down at the 22-yard line by Pete Holohan. And a flag sails. Another flag is in. Lyndon King will be whistled for unsportsmanlike conduct on Mike McClaw. Now, what you do in that situation, Gene, for no reason, you give a team outstanding field position.
Well, take a look at the far left of your screen. Well, it's going to come from the right side. There, number. Oh, there's 57. Watch 57.
Unnecessary roughness.
I mean, right to the chops.
Kicking team.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking about, Bill. I mean, the ball is rolling dead, and it, you know, the player had let up, and he went right for the chin.
Well, with 6:59 to play on the first period, we've got a good one.
And they're looking for added help from these people because of their size. Hallstrom is 283, Huffman is 282. They want to give the quarterback time to throw, and they feel that these two young players can do that.
Lynn Dickey, 5 of 6 thus far in the first period, 67 yards, and a touchdown to Paul Kaufman. Play action, Dickey. Looking left, almost hit by Lowe, now unloads. Out of the backfield comes Jesse Clark, and he's got it. Near a first down at the 47. A flag is down way back at the 35-yard line, and Jerry Seaman is saying roughing the passer against San Diego. Whoa. Now, that's something the Packers can ill afford. Lynn Dickey has been rough enough this year.
Well, if there's no harm, I think they would just as soon take it. That's a
personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 76. Defense. First down.
Keith Ferguson, number 76. Oh, you see it just at the end. You could see him hit Dickey from behind. You can't hit the quarterback after the ball has been released unless it's a part of your momentum. And they decided that it wasn't a part of Ferguson's momentum, therefore the 15 yards.
The two penalties against the Chargers here have provided the Green Bay Packers with a 30-yard gift. Misdirection, That is Clark. Turns the corner and then is hammered there by number 28, Ken Green.
Phil, we talked about the guards for the Packers. They've done a good job pass protecting so far. Let's watch them on the run. Number 74, that's Huffman. Well, the person he was supposed to block, Lyndon King, submarined him, so he said, okay, if you're going to go down, I'm just going to make sure you stay down, and I'm going to get on top of you. I weigh 282, and you only weigh about 240, so I'm going to win. Thank you.
Second down and 8 now. The ball at the 37-yard line. Dickey wants to put it in the air again. Boy, great protection. Ellis in and out of his hands. Mike Green was looking for a flag and did not get it.
There's some scores coming up. Final, Chicago over New Orleans, 20-7.
And as you heard on NFL 84, Walter Payton eclipsed Jim Brown's record. There you see Miami over Pittsburgh. Some of you were watching that one. Dan Marino rolling a homecoming back to Pittsburgh. Denver over Detroit, 28-7. St. Louis out in front of Dallas, couldn't hold the lead. The Cowboys come back to win by 11. And look at that one, the Jets over Kansas City, 17-16. They're down in 8. Fumble covered by Dickey. It'll be 4th and a bunch. So while the clock is stopped and the punting team comes on, we'll go to New York for this NFL update.
Phil, the umpire strike is over.
Philadelphia beat Buffalo. The Bills now drop to 0-6. Right here at Lambeau Field, it is 7-7 the Chargers. On first down, Fouts unloading, intended for Wes Chandler. And Tim Lewis with the coverage.
Well, Fouts and Chandler weren't on the same page there. Chandler wasn't expecting that football to be thrown so early. Dan was an incompletion. But let's take a look at the right tackle. Filling in for Ed White. Number 75. He's blocking on the #1 draft choice. That's Alfonso Carricker. Now, what San Diego does all game long is Fouts throws on a quick 5-step drop. So he makes pass protection a lot easier for his offensive line.
That's Ernest Jackson, the lone setback. He's got the football, sweep right. He is hit there at the line of scrimmage, runs right through the tackle of George Cumbly, and moves it another 5 yards to the 25 before Terry Jones, the nose tackle, drops him.
Inside linebacker Cumbly had a chance to make the tackle on Jackson, and Jackson just runs through it. Let's watch number 52. There he is. He misses a tackle, and that's the thing that the Chargers like about Jackson. They don't compare him to Chuck Muncie. Muncie did a lot of other things. But Jackson runs north and south, as they say. He heads towards the goal line, and his offensive linemen like that. They don't have to sustain blocks quite as long. He doesn't dance in the hole. He wants positive yardage.
4 down linemen now for the Pack. Here they come. Out pattern. That's Winslow. He's got the first down, and he is knocked out of bounds by Mike Douglas. Kellen to the 34-yard line.
Well, we've talked about how the Chargers can create mismatch, create one-on-one situations. Whenever you get Winslow one-on-one with a linebacker, Kellen is going to win. There are not many cornerbacks who can cover him one-on-one, never mind a linebacker. That's just a mismatch. Fouts was able to find it. Again, the quick drops. 3 steps, 5 steps. Rarely will you see the Chargers take a deep 7-step drop.
Fouts, 6-10, 57 yards. That's Chandler in motion. Fouts. Again, there is Kellen, and oh, is he punished at the 43-yard line. John Anderson with help from Mark Murphy. Boy, Murphy, the rookie out of West Liberty State, really making his presence felt today, Gene.
Well, he's a tough hitter, but I'm sure he's saying to himself, what do I have to do against Winslow to slow him down? I mean, he delivers some blow on Winslow. Kellen just sort of gets up, shakes it off, goes right back to level. Let's watch again. There's the arrow pointing out cornerback on that side. Coming up, boom. Now watch Kellen. Look at Kellen. Kellen looks down and says, what was that?
Second down, less than 1. Bounce, looking for Jackson. Fakes it to him, goes post. That is Kellen Winslow again at the 30-yard line.
Now, Phil, remember the play earlier when they threw the ball down to Winslow in the middle and he got hit and he lost the football. They figured they'd get the same type of defense. Now, watch Fouts. He looks to the left, fakes over there, draws that inside safety that way. Now that opens up the middle more for Winslow. The quarterback can move those people in the deep middle by moving his head because they're responsible for anything deep to the sideline. So if he moves his head to that sideline, they have to go that way, and it opens up the middle.
The Chargers moving with 3:05 to play in the first period. A first down. San Diego Green Bay tied at 7. There's Kellen. Oh, almost picked off by John Anderson. He has one this year. Almost got number 2.
And he's pretty good on interceptions. Last year, he had 5 interceptions. Only one linebacker in the league had more, and that was the Jets' Joe Mel.
The Chargers have a couple of gadget plays in their repertoire. They used it the first play of the season up in Minnesota this year. Fouts, a pass, a flea flicker to Wes Chandler that moved the ball all the way down to the Vikings 10. I know they have it in the scheme of things today.
They're faking blitz, but they might come. There are a lot of people up there. There it is.
Jackson, too many green jerseys. Flung it out. He's to the 30-yard line before Tom Flynn takes him across the sideline. Clock stops, 2:54 to play. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Let's take a look at some of the linebackers, particularly the outside linebackers, and see if we can see them coming on the blitz. Look at the middle of your screen. There you see the linebacker comes across and simply beats the block. That's number 59, John Anderson, and he turns a play inside, and the pursuit catches up with Jackson.
And it is 3rd down and 7. Commonly referred to as Charlie Joyner country.
And the Chargers are better than anyone at converting 3rd down situations. And you called it.
Joyner's got a first down at the 19-yard line.
Did they give you their playbook?
I'm telling you. The 16th year out of Grambling. Not flashy, nothing spectacular about this guy, Gene, but boy, he just gets it done.
He's a student of the game. He is, quote-unquote, their possession receiver. 70% of all of the passes he's caught in the last few years have been for first down.
No.
That's an amazing statistic.
70%.
70% of the passes he's caught have been for first down. It might have been 3 yards, 4 yards, or 15, but they've been for first down.
For Joyner, his first catch of the day, and it's a big one. It keeps the Charger drive alive now from the 17-yard line. There's Seaver in motion. Now comes this way. Blitz. Fouts picks it up, unloads in a hurry.
Oh!
A one-handed catch, and he's down at the 16-yard line. Mark Murphy again on the hit.
You know, the interesting thing about this beautiful catch is that it was done defensively. Kellen Winslow thought there was going to be someone out there who was going to nail him. You see how he sticks his hand out? So you do that so you don't put your body out there in case someone's there. And he has such good hands that he could just reach out and pull that ball back. But partly that was a defensive move.
Well, the thing the Chargers are doing early in this first quarter, they are isolating Kellen Winslow on a 6'2" safety by the name of Mark Murphy. There's Seaver in motion again. Play action, Fouts, pressured. Now has time, looking deep. Joyner is knocked down in the end zone. The pass is almost intercepted by Mark Lee. Charlie looking around for a yellow handkerchief and doesn't see one.
I think it was one of those cases where you can say it's incidental interference, where maybe the two people just got their legs tangled up. Mark Lee really should have come up with that interception. Take a look from the left side of your screen, and you're going to see Joyner. There he is, number 18, coming right into the middle of your screen. Now he's going to sit down, going back to the left. There. He just slipped. It did rain, as you mentioned before. It rained all night. The field was covered, but it's a little damp, and he slipped trying to get back out to the corner.
3rd down and 7 now from the Packers' 15-yard line. Winslow in motion. He's wide open. He's got the football at the 4-yard line. Estes Hood in the neighborhood. Mike Douglas is there, as is Tom Flynn.
Kellen Winslow, I think, should get hazardous pay. I mean, he gets into situations where there are not only 2 people, but in certain cases, and in this case, 3 defenders around. Dan Fouts has an amazing ability to be able to anticipate where his receiver is going to be. Throwing the ball, backing up, just a little plant, and look how quickly he gets that ball in between 3 defenders. Fouts doesn't have a strong arm, but he has great anticipation, terrific knowledge of defense.
A first down inside the 5. That's Ernest Jackson, quick hitter. Now he moves it to the 3-yard line. Ezra Johnson is in the middle of the pack, along with Donnie Humphrey. Gene, you were a wide receiver. It has to be a wideout's dream to play in a system such as San Diego's.
Well, San Diego's or San Francisco.
Well put.
Look, you see the inside linebacker pointed out. No one out there. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
For the Chargers, that is the second touchdown today, Gene, via the pass, and the Packer defensive secondary had allowed a grand total of 3 touchdown passes all year. The Chargers have 2 in just a couple of ticks over 15 minutes of play. Banershka tacks on the point after, and with 14 minutes and 58 seconds left to play in the first half, it's the Chargers by 7. A great afternoon of football coming your way next Sunday. Let's take a look.
The NFL plays here, San Diego.
All-world tight end Kellen Winslow fuels the Charger attack as they head into Arrowhead Stadium.
The NFL plays here, Kansas City.
Since taking over at quarterback, Todd Blackledge has earned passing grades in directing the Chiefs' offense.
The Chargers battle the Chiefs. The NFL plays here.
My team plays here.
Chargers 14, the Packers 7. And that will be Epps about a yard deep, and he'll bring it out to the 20-yard line and rolled out there. The tackle by Jesse Bendras, the rookie out of Alabama. Clock stop. We'll be back in a moment. A touchdown. Jefferson and Lofton split to the top. The pitch comes this way. And it is Ellis across the 25, a pickup of 6 yards. He is knocked down there by Billy Ray Smith.
Well, the Packers trying to get a little added strength on the right side. They had 2 tight ends over there, Ed West along with Paul Kaufman, trying to get a little better blocking going. There's Coryell. There's a scoring drive. 5:27. 3-yard pass, bouts to Holland.
And you look at that time elapsed, Gene, and that is something the Chargers over the past several years have been unable to do, and that is hold on to the football, that quick strike ability. Move the ball down the field. 2.5 minutes, but then you've got to go and let your defense play. That, quite frankly, has been a problem over the years for San Diego. The pass to the rookie tight end, Ed West. A first down across the 30-yard line. Billy Ray Smith on the stop.
Well, the fans are a little upset because they don't agree with where the official has marked the football. So the officials are going to bring the chains in and take the measurement to see if Ed West picked up that first down. And that pass that was thrown to Ed West is one of the passes that usually might go to John Jefferson that he's been complaining about so loudly here in Green Bay. In the newspapers, as a matter of fact, he's talked about the fact that he's just taking a beating here. You know, he's not catching the long pass. This offense has been designed to throw the long ball to Lofton. And quite frankly, he's unhappy about it.
Gene, you were a wide receiver. I mean, does John Jefferson have a legitimate beat? He's been here for 3 years. His numbers are way off what they were in San Diego.
Let me tell you the problem with John Jefferson playing here. The problem is that James Lofton is here. You see, Jefferson, in my opinion, is not a possession-type receiver. The personality, his personality does not fit with the role they want him to play here. And I thought it was a mistake when he first came to this team. He needs to be on a team where he is, let's sort of, the star wide receiver.
There's Huckleby. And he dives ahead. He's got the first down. He was hit shy of the first down marker. But dived ahead and picked it up. Lyndon King at the bottom of the pile with help from Mike Green. A first down for Green Bay at the 32-yard line. 13 minutes, 19 seconds to play in the first half. There's exactly what I was talking about. As a Charger, look at the years 1979, 80.
But the interesting thing now, in 83, 57 passes, that sounds pretty good for the Packers, but he only averaged about 14 yards a catch. His longest pass reception was for 30 yards.
There's Fussman. He has got it, and he's out of bounds. At the Charger 44, the tight end getting behind Gil Bird. And the Packers with a big first down.
Paul Kaufman, number 82, the man who's been in the Pro Bowl a couple of times. You know, he's still not quite at full speed. He had some problems with his left knee, But you wouldn't know it on this play. He really gets down there, does a little dance with his feet, knows where he is on the field, knows that he has to have 2 feet in bounds, and he has really come out of, basically out of nowhere to develop into one of the better tight ends in the league.
For Kaufman, his 2nd catch of the day, his 6th of the year. You can believe that. First down, Charger 44. The give is right up the middle to Jesse Clark, and oh, is he hit at the line of scrimmage by Keith Guthrie, the rookie out of Texas A&M, Chargers' 6th round draft choice.
Phil, I think that at least thus far in the game, we have to say that the addition of Huffman and Hallstrom and that guard positions for the Packers is paying off. They're giving Dickey time to throw the ball, and they're running the ball fairly efficiently here in this first quarter. So that might prove to be a good move on the part of their new coach, Forrest Gregg.
So it's 2nd down and 10 now. That's J.J. in motion. Dickey looks left, now looks at J.J., throws for Lofton and let him a bit too much. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Green Bay Packers and the NFL is prohibited.
Well, it was obvious on that play that someone did the wrong thing. You could see that Dickey was visibly upset. He thought that he should have come up with a completion. And, of course, we never know up here who is at fault. Is it the quarterback or the receiver? But someone was on that last play.
Well, keep in mind, Lynn Dickey is playing with almost an armor-type flak jacket. Chargers showing blitz. Here they come. The quick release for Paul Kaufman. It was a great call in the type of defense the Chargers were in. But, again, Dickey under pressure, unloaded. The pass intended for Kaufman is incomplete. A punting situation now for the Pack.
You're absolutely right, Phil. They had it. They had the hot receiver. Kaufman was hot. He saw the blitz coming. That was Ken Green coming on the blitz. They just didn't execute. Threw the ball a little low. You know, Kaufman, he got both hands on it. There you can see the outline of that flak jacket that he's wearing. It's not the ribs in the case of Dickey, but it's he has problems in his back. Some broken bones in his back, and he's trying to get protection with that jacket.
Flag is down. Scribner, another lousy punt, quite frankly.
Oh.
He rolls it out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Yes! But a flag is down way back at the 45-yard line. Gary Hayes, first year out of Fresno State, covered that punt out of bounds at the 1. Hold on for the call. Defense offside. The call will go against San Diego.
Offside. Defense. Penalty decline. First down.
Of course, they're not going to give up this nice opportunity. Look at the coverage. Grabs the ball, steps right out of bounds. Gary Hayes, number 27. Heads up football for a young player. We'll be back in just a moment.
In the rarefied world of $40,000 luxuries.
Here at Lambeau Field, the Chargers at their own 1 on first down to give right up the gut. And there is no gain. Randy Scott shuts it off. Now, this is where their running backs, Gene, really earned their bucks.
Well, when you get down in these situations, most of the times the team is going to run the ball. Let's watch the center, number 62, Don Macy for the Chargers. One of the 3 best in all of football. He does a good job on the nose tackle. The problem is the inside linebackers for the Packers fill that hole immediately.
That is Ernest Jackson. Quick pitch right side. He turns it up, and again it is Scott on the tackle. The ball out near the 5-yard line. Ernest Jackson, he is about as tough as they come. 5'11", 208 pounds. Against the 49ers, Gene, in the preseason, he suffered a severely chipped bone under his eye. He came right back the following week and had an outstanding preseason game against the Los Angeles Rams.
And last week, of course, he had a problem with his knee and ankle on the same leg. So there's no question in his toughness.
Bounce to Severs. Oh, what a first down. Eric spins to the 20-yard line. Fouts, with Cliff Lewis right in his face, unloads a strike to the tight end Sievert.
Saying Fouts and throwing the ball quickly is almost being redundant. Talked about it so many times that he has, probably of all the quarterbacks in the league, the best ability to find his receiver right away. And I think he does this out of necessity because Dan doesn't have a strong arm. So he must be able to anticipate and get the ball to his receivers quickly. And he does a great job.
There's the give to Jackson, and he is upended, head over heels. He'll lose a couple. Alfonso Carricker. Well, the other thing about Dan, you're right, Gene. There's no question there. I think the other thing that limits Dan, if he has a limitation, is the fact that here's a quarterback that perhaps will never, ever dance for the New York Ballet.
But then again, you see, if you know you have deficiencies in certain areas, then you work on the other things. Dan Fouts throwing, I think, so far 63% of his passes. That may be the highest completion percentage in all of football. If it's not, it's certainly close.
Fouts looks, now unloads. There's the man, Charlie Joyner at the 27. For Joyner, his second catch of the day.
That's one of the 30% that's not for a first down. But on this play, Joyner, let's watch again on the left side of your screen. Watch, he's going to fall down. Gets a good shot there. Watch, he's going to fall a little step, then comes back inside. Got a good shot from the inside person, forcing him in. But Fouts again, knowing where he's going to be, gets the ball there in a hurry.
3rd down and 4. Tight end country for Chargers. To Joyner, knocked off the ball by Tom Flynn. And Flynn is down. He went up to knock that ball away and came down right on his back, unable to break the fall. Clock stops. The Packer medical staff takes to the field. 8 minutes, 30.
Right over the middle, there's Flynn breaking it up.
It's a punting situation for the Chargers. Flynn, incidentally, up and ran off the field under his own power. Low snap. Buford fields it nicely. Almost blocked by Huckleby. Good punt. That's Phillip Epps at the 27. He's got a return. And he's grabbed around the ankle by number 56, Vince Osby, the rookie free agent out of Illinois. A return to the 36-yard line. Lynn Dickey and company will trot back onto the playing field with 8:28 to play. And the Packers needing a touchdown here in the first half. We'll be back with more from Lambeau in a moment. 14-7, Lynn Dickey completed a 3-yarder to Paul Kaufman. And that is where we stand. Play action, Dickey, no pressure at all. Now is wrapped up, unloads, out of the backfield comes Jesse Clark. And he moves the ball across the 40, near the 44 before Lyndon King drops him. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
WTMJ-TV, Milwaukee.
Phil Stone and Gene Washington from Lambeau Field in cloudy Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Chargers on top 14-7. The Pack with the ball, 7 minutes, 48 seconds to play on the first half, and the give comes to the near side. That is Huckleby. The former Wolverine turns the corner, gets the first down, and moves across the midfield, strike to the 49 before Mike Green tackles him.
Harlan Huckleby, number 25, gets a good block on the right side. There you see, that was number 28, the strong safety, Green, trying to come up to turn the play in. But he saw that big guard, the number 1 draft choice in 82, Hallstrom, and he decided to duck underneath. He made the guards block easy. Therefore, Harlan Huckleby was able to get outside and pick up a nice gain.
First down and 10. Green Bay at the San Diego 49. There's Jefferson in motion. Dickey looks right, throws right. Kaufman is hit by Mike Green, right down around the knee. Keep in mind, Paul Kaufman, the tight end, is playing with strained ligaments in the knee.
Paul Kaufman was a walk-on free agent here with the Green Bay Packers. Mentioned before, has gone to the Pro Bowl 2 times.
That's a great story.
Not only that, a walk-on at Kansas State. I mean, he wasn't even given a scholarship there. I mean, you talk about an overachiever.
The man has spent his life walking around. Second down and 5. 7:05 to play first half. Dickey rolling right again. Now he's under pressure. Tries to throw back to the left side. How about that? The ball squirts loose. It is already whistled dead. Dickey, under the great rush by Billy Ray Smith, unloads. Really threw a floater to Kaufman. That's a dangerous pass.
Very dangerous. But Billy Ray Smith, number 54, watch. Here comes the pressure. Has to throw the football out there. And as you mentioned, very dangerous because Woody Lowe, who's out there, if he turns around, he may go all the way for 6 points.
So the Chargers now with wholesale changes. The nickel backfield. Take a look here. The Raiders over Seattle 14-0, second quarter at the Coliseum.
About time to get one to JJ, I think, for the Packers.
Long count.
Here comes a blitz.
And down goes Dickey for the first time in this ball game on the year. That is the 15th time Dickey has been sacked. Woody Lowe. And that will bring Bucky Scribner back onto the playing field.
The Packers offensive line had did a good job prior to this play of giving them pass protection. No one accounted for number 51, though, in the middle. That's Woodrow Lowe, who wasn't in his ordinary position outside, had gone into the middle, came on the blitz, got the sack.
So the single safety is the little train out of Auburn. Lionel James. Bucky Scribner will kick it away. He has not punted well today. He leads the National Football League with an average of 45 yards a boot. This time he nails it. A return for the train. Tries to juke his way out near the 20 and doesn't even get close before Rich Wingo stops James at the 18.
Dr. 590.
So the clock is halted with 5:30 to play in the first half. The Chargers continue to lead the Packers 14-7.
You could find
At 2 against Tampa Bay. Bounce play action. Looking for Winslow. Winslow comes back, makes the catch, and is tackled at the 32. The thing the Chargers do so very, very well is alter their patterns.
You can only alter your patterns if your offensive line gives you time to throw. Fouts gets the time. Now watch how Winslow comes back to the football. Comes back, reaches up. He's tall enough as it is at 6'5". Sticks the arms up. A lot of receivers won't reach up and pluck the ball out of the air. They'll try to catch it with their bodies. But Winslow always does that. It's an added advantage.
A first down for San Diego at the 32. 4 minutes, 50 seconds to play in the first half. There's the pitch. That is Ernest Jackson. Juke steps, finds the hole, busts through it near the 40-yard line, and the flag is down. And Kellen Winslow is talking things over with an official.
And it was a late flag. Oh, maybe you're right. But maybe they caught Kellen holding. Maybe that's why he was protesting.
Well, the flag was thrown. I saw it thrown, Gene, when Jackson was already on the ground. I'm sure it will be whistled against the tight end. Let's listen to Jerry Seaman.
Holding, number 80, offense. Still first down. First down.
Gene, when you played, they didn't make those announcements over the PA system, did they? That has to be a little embarrassing.
They didn't point out players quite as much. But then again, I never got close enough into that action to hold anybody.
Yeah. First down and 15 from the 29 now. There is Jackson. Tries to sweep left. Ezra Johnson fought off the block by Doug Wilkerson, who is pulling. Wilkerson upset with himself there.
Doug Wilkerson has had such a nice career with the Chargers. Number 63. What happened on this play, you can see that number 90, that was Ezra Johnson, forced him back. He pushed him off of his path, and that pushed him back into the running back. The running back had to try to cut it up.
So it's second down and 11. Keep your eyes on Joyner. Bounce. Again, waiting, now unloads. Kellen Winslow up over top of number 59, John Anderson. 2 flags are down.
while the football was in the air, it appeared as though the linebackers were draped all over it.
It is a
they're calling it against
Winslow. Oh, my goodness. Well, 2 officials saw it. Well, this kind of call, Gene, back in 1983, went against Kellen a number of times.
Pass interference, number 80, offense, still second down.
But the thing that Winslow has done this year is he has stayed away from the officials. A year ago, he would have been right in Jerry Seaman's face.
Well, I think you find out after a period of time that it doesn't matter what you say after the flag has been thrown. Nothing is going to change the call.
Wes Chandler and Charlie Joyner are at the bottom of your screen. Duckworth to the top. There's the give right up the middle. Face mask on Ernest Jackson. It looked like somebody had a hold of the mask. Donnie Humphrey, the rookie out of Auburn, with help from Mike Douglas, bring him down.
The Packers on defense playing with 2 rookie defensive ends. One, number 79, Donnie Humphrey. Let's see if we can see the face mask. Number 79 is Humphrey.
There it is.
Well, he grabbed it for a little while there. Bill, you have the eagle eye today.
Hey, I'm going to get a flag of my own and start throwing it in the press. 3rd down and 17 now with 3:18 to play in the first down. Here come the Packers. Fouts will have to unload. Has the time. There's the Charlie Joyner. He will be shy of the first down at the 41-yard line. John Anderson on the tackle. That's one of the rare times you will see Charlie Joyner run a short route in need of a first down.
Well, he had a pretty long way to go. But again, Charlie Joyner, the technician that we've talked about, understands how to run routes, understands defenses coming into this game. The 4th leading receiver all time, behind only Taylor, Maynard, Berry. He has done some job, some career in 16 years.
You realize, Gene, he has not missed a game in 11 years in this league. Count them, 11 years, Charlie Joyner, and there are his figures. Fumbled snap, Buford will unload. It is caught for a first down. Jesse Bendross, and now flags are down. And it is going to, I believe, go against San Diego. A nifty bit of work and a fire. They call that a fire play, do they not? When a snap is muffed, the team all screams fire.
Illegal man downfield. Of course, that's the problem in any situation when it's a broken play. You're going to have people downfield. Let's watch from the end zone. Most of the people are downfield thinking about covering the punt already. Nice catch, though, by Jesse Bendross. Reaches up, pulls the ball down. Terrific catch. But to no avail.
Now, you're right, Gene Washington. It is illegal man downfield, but perhaps more importantly is Maury Buford will have another chance to get this one away. Now, the Chargers, that will be their 6th penalty, Gene, for 55 yards. 6 for 55. The Packers have been penalized once today for 5 yards.
Ineligible downfield, offense, still 4th down. The player that caught the ball was eligible.
F. Coryell obviously not liking the proceedings, at least at this moment. 2:19 to play in the first half. Don't forget, stay tuned. We will bring you up to date on all the scores and highlights around the National Football League on this week number 6. So a big, big penalty. And now the punt will come from the 30-yard line. Good snap. Flag down again. That is Philip Epps. Ball is out of bounds near the 26-yard line. Flag down way back at the 27-yard line. And you have to wonder, Gene, where that flag was thrown, if a Charger perhaps left too soon.
Well, you know, when you think about the number of chances that the Chargers have had to punt, illegal formation, illegal procedure. You know, it's a testament to their offense. So the Chargers coming into this game have only punted the ball 18 times. Now you compare that to Green Bay. They punted the ball 39 times.
That's right.
The best in the league is Miami, 16.
Now, so another penalty. Penalty number 7 against San Diego. Let's listen.
Illegal formation. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Offense. Still 4th down.
So a comedy of errors here as we approach the 2-minute mark of the first half here at Green Bay. So now the Packers put 10 men on the line. Watch the green jerseys. No flag. Beautiful punt by Buford at the 23. Epps. Out of bounds at the 33. So the clock is stopped with 1:59 to play.
It's a subtle kind of difference. He's their possession receiver. Freddie Solomon is the biggest threat out there.
Well put. 1 minute 7 seconds to play in the first half. A lot of them coming. Unloads. It is Philip Epps, and he has the ball at the 45-yard line before John Turner knocks him out.
Boy, this is a nice pass from Len Dickey. It requires a strong arm to get this football where he got it. I mean, it's a sideline pass, but it's a long throw out there. Nice route by Epps, and of course, any defensive back who's playing Epps one-on-one must respect his speed, has to play back off. Nicely thrown ball, well-timed, well executed.
Epps and J.J. to the top, Lofton to the bottom. Oh, boy. And here come the Chargers. Dickey reads it, now unloads to Jefferson. Did he hold the ball? No, he did not. No catch. Juggling it when he hit the ground, and Jefferson not disputing the call.
I think it bounced to him. He would make a good shortstop, I think. Let's watch again. I think this ball, we're up pretty high, but I think it bounces before it gets there. There. It's a little low. We'll give him an A for effort.
57 seconds left. Clock stopped. There you see it. Packers would love to at least get within field goal range. They are down by 7. Dickey 14 of 19, 155 yards.
They have the one-on-one with Lofton. If they have time to get it off. Come on, then, baby.
Quick release. There's Jefferson, and he is hammered out there by Danny Walters. Walters, like John Turner, Gene, playing hurt this week. He ran into an official last week and hurt a knee.
The fans want a flag. So does John Jefferson. They're saying that Danny Walters hit him when he was out of bounds. J.J. said, hey, where's the flag?
Fourth down and 1.
Let's watch again. Dickey saw the blitz. Saw the blitz coming. He got hit as soon as he released the football. Nice throw out to Jefferson. One-on-one with Walters. Jefferson wins the matchup. Now he's saying, where's the flag? I'm out of bounds.
Now the Packers are going for it on 4th down and 1. They have rushed for a total of 20 yards thus far in the first half. Dickey wide open. Look here.
Offensive coordinator for the Packers is Bob Smelter, and he likes to gamble. This is a perfect situation. Nice fake into the line. Dickey pulls it down, wide open. Ed West only caught a couple of balls, 2 today, 1 for a touchdown. He is normally their blocker, so it was perfectly set up. The tight end who usually blocks out there, run fake, fakes down the block, down the field, wide open.
Eddie Garcia to tie the ball game. It is perfect. The flags come in from all over the place. Clock stopped with 46 seconds left in the... Joined Eric in that spot for United Way. First down and 10, San Diego at their own 32. Tied at 14, 33 seconds remaining. Fouts wants to unload. Going deep. That's Duckworth. He's got the football and down at the 25-yard line. It is taken away 19 with 12 seconds to play. Fouts steps up, hit, and drops, and a flag goes down. Charles Martin and Donnie Humphrey. Fouts under terrific pressure.
And Ezra Johnson, number 90, putting the pressure on Fouts.
Let's listen to the penalty.
Holding, number 77, offense. Penalty declined. Fourth down.
Rolf Benerschke is on. This field goal will come from 58 yards away. Benerschke is 4 for 4 outside the 40 this year. Good snap. And it falls just under the crossbar. Well, for Benerschke, who came into the ballgame hitting 7 of 8 overall, and his only miss prior to that one was blocked. 2 seconds left on the game clock in the first half, and the Packers hold the powerful San Diego Chargers.
Here you see Bob Snelko in the yellow shirt, the offensive coordinator for the Packers, and I think he's pretty happy with their first half performance. Last week, their offense finally came on against Tampa. They scored some points. They're doing a good job here in the first half. Again, I go back to the offensive line. I think that it made a difference a couple of weeks ago when they installed Huffman at left guard and Hallstrom at right guard, and I think that's been a big difference with the offense for the Packers.
2 seconds to play. Dickey trying to flood the right side, throws it up in the air, and flags go down, and it'll be against, I believe, San Diego again.
No, this is going to be against Lofton. I think Lofton grabbed a hold of one of the San Diego people. That should be holding against the offense.
Well, I think you're right.
But now, well, you know, a half can end on the penalty, but since Green Bay has it, I don't know what the situation is going to be here.
But it can end on a penalty if it's against the offense.
Okay.
Let's listen to Seaman.
Pass interference, number 80, offense. The half is over.
Well, the eagle eye, my counterpart, Gene Washington, sniffed that one out. The flag. Welcome back. Both teams on the playing field ready to begin the second half of play. And the Chargers' Rolf Benerschke is set to kick it away. There you look at the first half statistics. Very even first half of play. Time of possession, that is wrong on the Chargers. Correct, that is absolutely correct. San Diego owning the football. About 6 minutes more than the Packers, but penalties, and more penalties. It cost San Diego dearly. So Benerschke is all set. It is Philip Epps and Harlan Huckleby back at their own goal line. And Benerschke, very short kick. Huckleby near the 8-yard line. Fumbles the ball. Now has it. Flags are down. And it could be a face mask against number 21, Buford McGee. May have grabbed Huckleby's face mask accidentally. And if it is a penalty, no, correct that. It is holding against the Packers. But for Green Bay, that is only their third penalty all day to go up against San Diego's 8th. So Dickey trots on, and the Packers will begin deep in their own end.
Illegal block, number 28, receiving team during the return. Holding, number 21, receiving team during the return. The second penalty will be declined.
Penalties whistled against Mike McLeod and Ray Krause. There you see the lights are on here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And the temperature is beginning to decline. There you see Dickey and Fouts' numbers very close Dickey unloads. That's Kaufman near the 14-yard line. And the Chargers roll him down, and Kaufman pounds somebody with the football.
Well, the players on both teams are starting to lose their poise a little bit here. A couple of other players are going after it. Kaufman upset because he felt he was hit late. You know, Phil, yesterday when the Chargers came here and they were practicing, and both you and I were talking to the defensive coordinator for the Chargers, Tom Bass. Let's watch here, see why Paul Kaufman is so upset. The whistle has been blown. Now, he said, wait a minute, fellas, that's unnecessary. The play's dead. We don't need to do all that. But Tom Bass said one of the things he really wanted to do with his defense was to eliminate mental errors, and that includes unnecessary penalties.
Dickey almost picked off. Hard to tell, Gene, whether that pass was intended for Huckleby out of the backfield or James Lofton downfield, being covered by Danny Walters.
No, I think he was trying to get the ball to Lofton, but the Chargers putting the pressure on. The offensive line for the Packers have done a good job in pass protection. I think in the second half we'll see some more blitzing from the Chargers. On that play, they brought their strong safety, Ken Green, on the blitz. So they're going to try to force Dickey to throw the football a lot quicker here in the second half than he did in the first half.
3rd down and 3 now at the 15-yard line. Ellis, the setback. J.J. is in motion. Ball is
interception.
That is Bill Bird. Inside the 10 and down. The first interception of the ball game. And Dickey gives the ball away. A tip pass. Carl Swanky stopping Bird at the 9. 1st and goal, San Diego.
Now, the key to this interception is watch James Lofton. The ball, he's coming short. He's about 4 or 5 yards. The ball is thrown so hard that when it hits his arm, it just bounces up in the air. Now all Bird has to do is wait for it. When a quarterback is going to throw a ball to a receiver coming across the field short, you can't put too much zip on it. You see how he just threw that ball in there? Too much steam on it. If the receiver doesn't catch that ball right in his stomach, that ball is going to be bouncing around every place. The result is interception for San Diego.
The first turnover in the ball game. Bounce. Little screen to Jackson. Touchdown, San Diego. A safety blitz by the Packers, Gene, did not pay the dividend.
Well, we talked about the fact that Fouts, in the first half, we mentioned that Fouts loves to see blitzes. He can read those things right away. There you see the pressure coming from the linebacker from the outside, who ordinarily would be guarding Jackson. Linebacker came, Fouts saw him coming. He says, my receiver is hot. When I say hot, that means the receiver lets the person come in on the blitz and looks for the football right away. The Chargers do that with running backs and their tight ends.
So the Chargers duplicating exactly what they did in the first half, striking quickly here to begin the second half of play. And the flag is down. Benershka now stops. Holding San Diego. So Benershka will have to kick it again.
Shouldn't be too much of a problem for all of the field goal kickers.
Holding, number 80, Coffin.
Of the kickers in the league who have 100 or more attempts, he has a leading percentage coming into today's game at 72%. Now, Nick Lowry from Kansas City is at 97 coming into this game, and he's at 75. So if he gets a few more kicks, then he would conceivably move ahead of Benershka once he qualifies with that 100 or more attempts.
Well, Benershka now will attempt the point after from 30 yards out. From the hold of Ed Luther. High snap. And Benershka, it's a walk in the park. Well, the clock is stopped with 13:56 to play in the third period, and the Chargers have jumped out to a 21-14 lead. This ball club has never trailed in the game today. We'll be back with more from Lambeau in a moment. Capacity here.
Today's game is brought to you by the new Chrysler Corporation. We don't want to be the biggest. We just want to be the best. by the people of AT&T Communications. We're thinking about your business in ways you never thought of. And by Miller High Life, the best beer for the best time of the day. Welcome to Miller Time.
A crowd of 56,200 has found their way to Lambeau Field today, and they are seeing a whale of a ball game. That is Del Rogers, 5 yards deep, and he wisely goes down on a knee. Well, the Packers will begin from their own 20-yard line. Here, just underway in the third period, the Chargers taking advantage of an interception off the fingertips of James Lofton. One play, Fouts goes to Ernest Jackson. And San Diego breaks the 14-14 halftime tie. It's 21-14 now.
So getting back to Tom Bass, defensive coordinator for the Chargers, one of the other things that he said he wanted to do this year was to be more physical on defense. Wanted to hit people more, punish them more, and also be able to finish stronger as the game wears on.
That's Ellis, sweep left, caught in the backfield by Lowe and chased out of bounds. There's an important stat, Gene, that is not kept. Lowe strung that play out so long, it denied Ellis the opportunity to make the turn.
And what is that stat that's not kept? String outs? Do you want to start a category of string outs?
I want string outs.
Total yardage. Now here's a stat that's kept, Phil. Coming into this game, the Chargers, first in NFL, 427. And this is today. Now, Packers playing good football.
I want to see the string outs kept. 13:46 to play, third quarter. Dickey, right down the middle. Lofton on the cut. Fell down. Now, we talked early on the NFL 84 that it rained all night very hard here in Green Bay. Gene, the field was covered until about an hour before game time, but you have to wonder if perhaps a little bit of sogginess has permeated the surface.
This is an excellent field. I was down on the field before the game walking around. Nice grass field, good drainage. It's a little wet, but it's really not a problem. This is a field that a pattern receiver loves. You can make nice cuts on this because the grass gives a little bit, which is better than playing on an artificial surface.
Chargers showing blitz. Take a look at this.
Yeah, but he's changing the play.
And here they come, and Dickey will go down in a hurry. Timmy Fox playing hurt, 9th year out of Ohio State. Got the gimpy ankles. Didn't know if he'd see action today. Sees some action, and Lynn Dickey couldn't have done without the presence of Mr. Fox.
The Chargers are doing just what we said they'd do, because in the first half they weren't that successful getting to Dickey, putting pressure on him. Now they're having to do it with their linebackers, with their safeties, coming on the blitz. This is the way they have to get pressure, and they've done a good job. I'm just surprised, though, that the Packers didn't have a receiver they could get the ball to right away. Lofton was on a deep pattern. Safety blitz, you don't have time for that.
Kind of a knuckleball punt. Bounces straight up in the air, and it is down at the 49-yard line. A poor punt. Chargers, for the second time here in the third quarter, Gene, will have a whole lot of room to maneuver. 13:08 to play in the third quarter. San Diego
there was no
21.
roughing the kicker.
Green Bay 14.
As the defensive player was blocking.
Packers. Same call, Gene.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It wasn't against Ezra Johnson, because he came off the field. Somebody else is guilty this time.
Offside, lining up in the neutral zone. Number 26, defense, still first down.
That's the cornerback, Tim Lewis. Got up too close to the line.
First down and 14. That's Jackson. Cuts it inside, and he is dragged down from behind by Humphrey, the defensive end on the right side.
Again, Phil, did you notice the first place Jackson was looking was to go inside? He really didn't even think about going outside. Yeah, at some point, he's going to have to try to bounce outside to make that play work more effectively. Get those people flowing, and then he can cut back inside.
The Chargers have not rushed the ball effectively today. In 4 of their first 5 games in '84, San Diego has rushed for over 100 yards. That is extremely atypical of a Don Coryell team. Here comes the blitz. Fouts picks it up, unloads. That's Kellen Winslow, a first down at the 8-yard line.
Completion to Winslow.
Tom Flynn, the rookie out of Pitt, on the stop.
Tom Flynn couldn't cover Winslow any better than he did. It's simply a mismatch. Winslow is too tall at 6'5". The good hands, I'll change that, the great hands. Look, Flynn is all over. There's virtually nothing he can do about it.
Winslow, 10 catches, Gene. Look at those numbers. 100 yards today. My goodness. Wes Chandler goes wide to the right. Look for Jackson. It is Jackson right up the middle. And as Gene was saying, the Packers are simply shutting down the inside running game, and they have all day long. Humphrey and Randy Scott, the inside linebacker on the left side on the tackle.
Humphrey and Scott.
Yep.
8 minutes, 58 seconds to play in the third quarter. Clock running.
Ball on the 7. Second down.
Second down and goal now from the 7. Fouts has already thrown 3 touchdown passes today. And he'd like to make it 4. Winslow is open, and Dan had to unload about a second too soon. Terrific charge by the linebacking core of the Packers.
Mike Douglas, 53, coming in. Randy Scott coming in. Putting the pressure on Fouts. Let's watch on the left side of your screen, coming left to right. There, number 55. The fact that Randy Scott jumped up and he took away Fouts' vision, forced Dan to throw that ball, basically to throw it away. That was a good play from the inside linebacker, Randy Scott.
Third down and 7 from the Packers 7. There goes Chandler. And here come the Packers again. Oh, intercepted. Holohan was there, and so was that man, Tom Flynn. So Benershka trots onto the playing field. A very disappointed Dan Fouts.
Again, number 55, Randy Scott, the inside linebacker. There he comes. Fouts unloading, set up perfectly for the interception. Flynn doesn't hold on to it.
So Benershka is on to try and make this one a 24-14 advantage.
Field goal.
Rolfe from 25 yards out. Ed Luther, the backup quarterback, will hold. He shanked it. Just missed off to the left, so the Packers hold. And that Gene Washington could become a very important 3 points. Those are the 3 points Axtell was talking about when he said, take the Packers. And the 3. San Diego, 21, the Packers 14. Chargers showing blitz. Now the linebackers come off. Dickey. Oh, it's set up nicely. Clark has it. To the 30 and beyond before he is dropped there by Cliff Thrift.
Jesse Clark was used primarily as a blocker in college at Arkansas, but he's shown that he can run the football here. This is beautifully set up on the right side of your screen. 3 blockers for the Packers. That's a well-executed screen play.
A first down for the Packers. Huckleby tries the left side, stutter step, still on his feet, turns the corner, and he has another Green Bay first down at the midfield stripe. Danny Walters, the corner on the right side, runs him out.
Another first down.
So the problem for the defense, the linebacker comes, gets blocked, that's Woodrow Lowe. Once the running back gets past the line of scrimmage where a linebacker has vacated when he comes on a blitz, he has some nice bit of territory to work with. Blitzing, you know, it's a real gambling type of a defense. If it works fine, but sometimes when you get burned, boy, it can be for a big one.
Again, look at all the Chargers on the line, the defensive line. They are showing blitz. Now they back off. Quick pass out to the flank. That's Lofton. He could take it all the way.
Lofton is the most feared wide receiver in all of football, and this is one of the reasons why. He's strong, he has good speed, he's very smart, gets a man out in front of him. That's Tim Huffman, the player that we've talked about in the first half. Look how Lofton tries to use his blockers and so forth. They need to get the football more to him because he is a threat to go all the way at any time.
Through the left side, he follows Tim Huffman and Carl Swanky. And the Packers have answered the Chargers touchdown here in the third quarter. And now it is up to the toe of Eddie Garcia to tie this ball game up. 6:44 left in the third quarter. Scribner sets it down. Garcia boots it through. And for the third time in this ball game, we are tied at 21. Now the question becomes, Gene, can the Packers defense hold San Diego? Ball goes into the end zone, and it is down there by Buford McGee, and the flag is down out at the 15-yard line. And who will it be against? Chances are it'll go against the Lightning Bolt.
One of the Chargers is a little slow getting up off the field as the officials are conferring about this flag. I think it's Carlos Bradley.
Yeah, you're right, Gene. Personal foul against Green Bay.
Well, Bradley is still down on the field.
And I wonder if perhaps it's against number 94, Charles Martin.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 94, kicking team after the ball was dead. First down.
And it was the backup defensive end on the left side, Charles Martin. And Forrest Gregg doesn't particularly like the call, but it will stand.
Well, they're helping Bradley off the field. He's limping off.
So instead of the Chargers having the ball at their own 20 there, you look at the scoring drive by Green Bay. Boy, do they go a long way in a hurry. Holohan in motion, Fouts to put it up. That's Holohan. He's got it for midfield, striping into Packer territory at the 49 before Tom Flynn rolls him down. Clock running, 6 minutes and 20 seconds to play. Well, Seattle is on the board in the fourth quarter at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Henberg and Olsen seeing a good one there. Hey, how about this one, Gene? The Rams and Atlanta, 28-27 Rams. And Cincinnati leading the Houston Oilers 10-3. Both the Bengals and the Oilers looking for win number 1 this year. That's Jackson, sweep right. Mark Murphy, the strong safety, coming up nicely with help from the nose tackle Terry Jones. That's one of the few times, Gene, that Jackson has bounced to the outside.
Well, I think someone told him, look, try to get outside, because what's going to open up the middle for you is to stretch that defense, then cut back to the inside.
Robert Brown is now the right defensive end, number 93.
Second and 9.
Bill, we haven't heard an awful lot from Wes Chandler this afternoon.
There's the sweep right
there's
again.
the
It's wide open. Jackson dives to the 39. He'll be shy of the first down, I believe, by about a half a yard. Well, as Gene talked about early in the third quarter, it would become imperative for San Diego's offense to start running outside.
Well, he's got it. He's got his guard out in front, number 63, Doug Wilkerson. And the tight end on the right side does some job of blocking for the Chargers. Let's take a look. There he is, number 80. That's Kellen Winslow, known for his receiving abilities. Gets the job done. Not devastating in block, but gets the job done. It's effective.
One of the few times you will see the Chargers run out of the double setback formation. Looked like a busted play. Fouts faked the pitch once and then finally delivered it to Jackson. A first down and more.
Okay, but now, what set this up is the fact that he was going outside. He finally started taking that sweep to the outside. Now the defense has to flow there. They were able to come back inside. They had shut them off before. Now it's opening up again. Phil, you know, it's one thing, whenever you look at a good football team, they've always had good defense and good running game. I want to talk to you a little bit more about that because I have a theory on that.
All right, here comes Jackson again. Sweep right. Look at the hole. Wide open. And the man that Jackson is following is Dennis McKnight and Drew Gessinger, who is filling in for the injured Ed White.
We're going to watch Jackson again, but I talked about the fact that really good teams that have had dynasties have had good defenses and good running games. The Chargers are working on improving their running game this year. Think back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Super Bowls. Iron Curtain defense. Franco Harris and Rocky Bleier, right? Cowboys. Doomsday defense. Calvin Hill, right? Every good team, Miami Dolphins. Same thing. Good defense, good running game.
That's Holohan, still on his feet. Look at him go. The big tight end was hit at the 18. Broke the tackle of Tom Flynn and dived to the 12.
The defense must say it's tough enough trying to guard against Kellen Winslow. Then you throw out a guy like Pete Holohan. How many tight ends do you have in your arsenal? Look at that. That's a terrific play.
A first down at the 12-yard line of Green Bay. The Chargers trying to break a 21-21 ball game with 3:17 to play in the third quarter. That's Seaver in motion. Fouts rolling out for one of the few times. Off the screen. That is Winslow. He cannot break the tackle of Flynn. Say what you want about the Green Bay Packers defense, Gene, but Tom Flynn has played a whale of a game today.
He has, and Dan Fouts. Let's watch Kellen Winslow trying to get open, trying to weave his way through the traffic. What we don't see here, though, is the fact that Fouts did a super job of just getting this ball away because he had pressure all over him. He threw this football falling down.
It is now second down and 11. Oh, look here. The Hawks are coming back against the Raiders. That's Wes Chandler. Fouts with plenty of time, unloads for Joyner. It is overthrown. Joyner wants a pass interference call on Tim Lewis, and it will fall on deaf ears. Word on Carlos Bradley, who was helped off the field earlier in the third period, an injured ankle. He will probably not return. Boy, Fouts had all the time in the world there, Gene.
And he got, it was interesting because they brought Wes Chandler in motion. And Chandler, when the ball was snapped, was right in the middle of the line and helped out to give them maximum pass protection.
Look at Fouts' numbers, 24 of 36, 292 yards and 3 touchdowns. 2:23 to play, third quarter. Dan looking for Winslow. Now unloads receivers and overthrows the tight end once more. You don't think this San Diego offense loves their tight ends, Gene? Oh.
Seavers had to fight away from a hold by the defensive man, Mark Murphy. Murphy was holding him at the line of scrimmage, but Seavers was able to get away, coming across field. But there wasn't much room in there for Fouts to get the ball in, and he just threw it out there where basically if his man wasn't going to get it, no one was going to get it.
Here's Benershka. He has missed twice today. This from 31 yards out. Sets it up. And it is good. So Benershka takes the San Diego Chargers to a 24-21 lead with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the third quarter. We have a super football game.
When you take one of these things up, you've got a crew to help.
Test pilot Chuck Yeager for AC Delco.
When it comes to my car and truck, I do the work myself. In 40 years, AC spark plugs have never let me down. And with today's technology, AC fire ring spark plugs are engineered.
24-21 Chargers. Konerska lets it fly. It is picked up at the goal line. Del Rogers creases the 25, out of bounds at the 28. We'll take a break. Let's go to New York for this NFL update. 57 points following opponents' turnovers, and you wonder if perhaps turnovers are becoming an issue out at the L.A. Coliseum. Seahawks, boy, they play the Raiders tough every year. Here at Lambeau Field, it is 24-21 Chargers over the Packers. 2:04 left, third period. A release to Ellis. He tries to make the turn, and he cannot. Mike Green encourages him to step on the sideline.
Phil, the interesting thing now to watch for the Packers is, can they adjust to the blitzing of the Chargers? The offensive line did a good job of blocking pass protection in the first half. I think the Chargers now have 2 sacks. Let's see what kind of adjustments they can make. Can these linemen, they have the 2 guards are 2 young guards, both Huffman and Hallstrom. Let's see if they're able to make the adjustments and give Dickey more time to throw.
Now you see how close the Dickey-Fouts battle is. Chargers showing blitzing here. They come. Dickey takes the long drop. Has time, unloads for Huckleby, and he has got it, or he does not have it.
Oh, they're going to rule that he... Well, I guess he was bobbling it, it hit the ground, came back up. The official was right on the spot. And as you said, Phil, he had a lot of time to throw the football, bounce, hit the ground right in between.
It's a third down now for the Packers at their own 28-yard line. Huckleby, 5th year out of Michigan. What a player he was for Bo Schembechler. Steve Smith, their quarterback at the time. Or was it Rick Leach? I believe it was Rick Leach.
Lofton appears to be one-on-one.
He indeed does. But Dickey doesn't even see it. The pass intended for Jefferson, broken up by Billy Ray Smith and Mike Green. You are absolutely right, Gene. He had Danny Walters all alone on the far side.
Billy Ray Smith, the man in the middle, #1 draft choice last year, knocking that ball away. And they have quite a duo in the middle of that line. Linebackers for the Chargers, Mike Green, who had an outstanding year, really sort of stole the show from the #1 draft choice last season. But that's a nice pair of inside linebackers for the Chargers.
Bucky Scribner, averaging 45 yards coming into this ball game. Look at his average today, way down. Good snap. Line drive. James should have a return, and he will. Tries to turn the corner. He is knocked off his feet at the 37. I'll tell you something. There is some hitting going on down there. Packers trying to avoid loss #5. They've lost 4 in a row. The Chargers trying to get back in the hunt with a victory here. Now join us next Sunday for more NFL football on NBC Sports. There are 6 great games scheduled, including a battle between 2 teams that love to throw, these Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Also, Marino leads the Dolphins against Warren Moon and the Oilers. Halftime, you'll see the AFL remembered. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. Your teams play right here on NBC next Sunday. I want you to keep in mind that if the Cubs win today, the NFL games on NBC will start 1 hour earlier than normal. Joyner in motion. Bounce looks left, comes left. Jackson out of the backfield. A flag is down. And I think we're going to see a whistle against Eric Sievers, a clip on number 43. That is Darryl Jones. Sievers took 2 Packer defenders out on 1 block.
There it is. That's the call.
So nullify the game. Fouts under pressure delivered to Jackson, and he just simply cinched it up and took off.
You watch Jackson going back to the huddle now. What the Chargers have done against this blitz.
Number 85, offense, Still first down.
It is against Sievers.
Well, you were right again, Eagle Eye. Let's watch number 85. Let's see if we can see. Well, first of all, they have his jersey. Okay, they missed the holding there. Let's see. Head is. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Head is in front. Maybe he didn't know the ball had already been thrown. If the ball's in the air and he does that, then that's the penalty.
Bounce to Winslow. He's got it. Tries to break out of the tackle of Mark Murphy and cannot do it. But what a great athletic move by Kellen Winslow, 6th year out of Missouri.
Now, the interesting thing about this is Kellen Winslow knows that number 41, Tom Flynn, is there and is about to hit it. Watch. Look, he's ready for the blow. The blow doesn't come. Flynn just misses the block. Misses the tackle, block. But anyway, Kellen Winslow, he knew he was going to be there, but he concentrated on the ball and he prepared himself for the hit, which he never got because Flynn just went by, missed the tackle.
First down, Fouts. Here come the linebackers. Dan's going to air it out. Almost picked off. Mark Lee running step for step with Wes Chandler.
Well, as we watch the end of this play, now we all know that Wes Chandler can run. We've just found out that Mark Lee can run. He's the fastest defensive back on the Packers secondary. He can really fly. But again, prior to this play, we really haven't seen the ball thrown to Wes Chandler very much at all, and it's a little surprising. A player of his ability, you think they'd try to get it to him a little more often. There's Dickey on the sideline. You can see that protective thing that he's wearing to try to cover up the back injuries that he's had.
Ernest Jackson starts left, cuts it inside, still on his feet, dives near the first down. He'll be stopped short by a yard.
To the 35-yard line.
Mike Douglas on the tackle.
Okay, now, see, it's starting to open up for the Chargers again. Starting to get that inside cutback. But in order to make it work, he had to stretch him. They did that before. Now they're getting back into the rhythm. But for a while, he had gotten into a habit of just starting outside and turning it up. The Packers adjusted to it, and they really shut down that part of the offense for the Chargers until they changed it.
Well, what an afternoon it has been for the Charger offense. As the third quarter winds down, Fouts will let it go. He will trot to the far sideline to talk things over. At the end of 3, the scores. That's Jackson. He's got the first down, and he is out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Tom Flynn chases him out. Clock stops, 14-14 to play, 4th period. Well, we've got a good one going here on NBC out in Los Angeles today. The Raiders in Seattle tied at 14, and we have a sensational game right here in Green Bay. The Chargers have never trailed, but it has been close all afternoon. San Diego out in front 7-0 on their first possession. Green Bay on their first drive tied it. San Diego went out on top in the second quarter only to see the Packers come back and tie it. Ditto third period. And then the Chargers have broken out on top with a Rolf Benerska field goal. Bounce at Sievers, and he is knocked down at the 20-yard line by Darrell Jones, a rookie out of Georgia.
And again, Dan Fouts just seems to be able to pick apart any blitz that the Packers throw at him. He has 3 tight ends to get the football to. Winslow, Sievers, Holland. There's the blitz. You see the linebackers coming. Fouts reads it, gets rid of the football in a hurry. Another reception for Mr. Fouts, adding to that 300 yards already.
Keep your eyes on Wes Chandler, though, here in the 4th period. There's Jackson trying to get the first down. I believe he got it. Fouts' gene has gone to 6 different receivers today. The only receiver who has not caught a pass for San Diego is a man by the name of Wesley Chandler. That's saying something.
There he is, running off the field. You have to wonder if maybe he's a little banged up or something, because you think that with his abilities, they would at least get the football in his area more. We just had the one long pass thrown to him, but they really haven't called his number very much today at all.
There's Winslow on 3rd down. There goes Jackson again, and he has the first down. Carricker and Scott combine on the stop. Check that. That was Buford McGee, the rookie out of Mississippi. Talk about a long shot, Gene. He was a 11th round draft choice. Got to believe with a guy by the name of Chuck Muncie and Pete Johnson on this team that Mr. McGee probably did not feel he had a great shot of making the Chargers. He was the longest shot, and he is still around. A first down for San Diego. 12 minutes and 18 seconds to play. First down at the 16. Chandler is back in. Blitz is looking for him. He's going for Chandler, and he overthrows him. Ernest Jackson, good block to give Fouts that extra split second to unload.
Good coverage by Mark Lee, number 22 for the Packers.
Chandler coming off, boy, what an injury-plagued year he had in 1983. Ankles were killing him, had the bruised kidney. Now Chandler and Joyner go wide to the left top of your screen. Bobby drawing single coverage over here on the right.
I think they're going to...
Draw play. Jackson didn't fool anybody, particularly John Anderson, the outside linebacker on the left side.
Now, if the Chargers again go with the same formation they had, 3 wide receivers plus Kellen Winslow, one of those 4 is going to be in a single man-to-man situation. Now, it's up to Fouts to find out who that is. I mean, it's tough as heck for these people to be able to cover man-to-man down in this area, any area on the field. And with the offensive protection that he gets, if he can find that single coverage, it's going to be tough.
Fouts unloads. Look at Joyner. He's got it, and he's out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Charlie Joyner. Well, he's been plying his trade, Gene, for 16 years in the NFL.
Well, again, the blitz coming. Fouts finds a single coverage. Man on man, Charlie Joyner against Estes Hood. You know, we talked about the fact that Charlie Joyner is such a good technician. He knows how to maneuver the defensive back. He came up in the days when he played against a lot of man-to-man, so he knows how to, when he has a person on him man-to-man, he knows how to maneuver that back and get open.
First and goal at the 1. A fumble. It is held on to, and a score by Ernest Jackson.
Whoa! When it rains, it pours. Looks like volleyball out here. Watch, the pitch is going to come out to Jackson. Watch, up in the air, up. Yep, I got it. Since I got it, might as well get in the end zone.
Well, credit Ernest Jackson with a great bit of concentration. First, getting his eyes back on the football, and then holding on and crashing over the goal line. For Ernest Jackson, that is his 2nd touchdown today. Bonershka is on. The point after sails through the uprights, and the clock stops with 11:21 to play now in the ball game. And the San Diego back on top of Seattle by a touchdown. Here it is San Diego by 10 over Green Bay. There's Lofton on his feet and finally taken out of bounds by Tim Fox. Gene, that might have been the purest pass Dickey has thrown today.
He threw this pass with some authority. I mean, he just rears back and lets it go. Boom. I mean, that is a beauty. Again, James Lofton. Lofton is such a phenomenal receiver because he has all of the things that some smaller, quick receivers have, but he's big. He's 6'3", 197 pounds.
John Jefferson drawing single coverage now by Danny Walters. Chargers showing blitz, and here they come. Dickey unloads again. It's Lofton beating Gilbert, and it is incomplete. The fans want a flag down there, but in reality, it was Lofton who ran into Bird trying to come back to get the football.
What Lofton was trying to do, as he comes off the line of scrimmage, watch, he's going to go to the inside. He's going to try to make him go inside so he can bounce outside and get that deep pass. You see, set the defensive back up to the inside so you can get outside. The ball was just a little too short and to the inside. Had it been a little more outside, Lofton might have had a shot for it.
Now Lofton is out of the ball game. Philip Epps is now in at the wide Receiver up to the right. Jefferson. Now Dickey is tripped up and he falls. And it is Keith Ferguson who tripped him up. Dickey 21 of 33 on the day, 296 yards. Clock is stopped, 10:55 to play, fourth quarter.
And he was tripped up by number 76, defensive end Keith Ferguson. Ferguson has added some weight, bulked up about 20 or 30 pounds to 260 this year, and has really helped out his play at the defensive end position.
Lofton back in the ball game. On 3rd down and 13. Lofton unloads. That's Kaufman. He's got the first down, or just a little shy. I believe he will be shy. Ken Green nails the big tight end the moment he latched on. Well, if the crowd begins to roar, go for it.
Right. And they're going to go for it. Number 86, Ed West, who caught a touchdown earlier in the game, has just checked in for the Packers. There's Forrest Gregg, but the man who's calling these plays is the offensive coordinator, Bob Snelker.
Now, the Chargers' defensive secondary, like Green Bay's, has really been put to the test today. And for San Diego, it's a secondary that coming into the ball game, Gene, was already in critical condition.
One thing I can guarantee you of on this play, the defensive cornerbacks are not going to be rushing up there too soon.
Ellis. First down and much, much more. A flag is down. It could be holding. It could be holding on number 65, Ron Hallstrom.
Oh, that's it.
That is a monumental call. It would have been a first down for Green Bay near the 25-yard line.
Holding, number 82. Offense. Still fourth down.
Called it against Kaufman. Well, that changes obviously the complexion of the situation, and the Packers are going to punt the ball away.
Well, the 30-second clock has started. Bucky Scribner is on. There you see Kaufman. 9 minutes, 56 seconds to play. Chargers with absolutely nobody back to field this punt. Scribner going for the sideline. Can he get it there? He did not. A terrific effort by Bucky Scribner. So the touchback. The Chargers will begin from their own 20-yard line. 9:46 to play. And there you see the effort made by the Green Bay Packers. John Dorsey to no avail. Bouts and company trot back on. We've got a lot of football left.
You want to win, you got to practice stopping Sarinsky. Murphy, you're Sarinsky. You dog me, Sarinsky.
You guys getting the hang of this?
Bring out your best. Your best deserves the best.
Bud Light.
The less filling light beer with a first name and taste.
Sarinsky's got some moves, huh?
The end of a season for most.
Deep left. Turns the corner and is bounced out at the 25. Right now, let's go to New York for this update. We'll be back in a moment.
All right, Phil, we want to show you what has happened in the Los Angeles Coliseum. Raiders and Seahawks tied at 14. Mark Wilson stands in against the blitz to Marcus Allen, who had run an out and up. Marcus, who had a 92-yard reception earlier, scores this time from 58 yards out. Later, Rod Martin, an interception return for a touchdown, is 28-14.
Well, what can you say, Gene, about the great running back Marcus Allen that hasn't already been said? And he's still a youngster in this game. Jackson, the sweep right. Now, Gene Washington talked about it early in the third quarter, that for San Diego to experience success at the running game in the second half, they would have to begin running outside. And Don Coryell, Ernie Zampese must have heard you.
Well, the key is getting that sweep, because Jackson on those pitches had been turning the ball up too early. The Packers were just sitting there waiting for him. They had to stretch the defense, get outside. Then if you're successful getting out wide, now that sets up the cutback. In the second half, they've been much more effective running the ball on that sweep play, getting outside and being able to cut back than they were in the first half.
Look at Dan's numbers, 343 yards. He is 101 yards off his personal high.
Oh, that was deliberate.
Now he'll draw no flags at all. Wes Chandler had turned inside on a crossing pattern, and perhaps he was looking for Wes to go outside. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
WTMJ-TV, Milwaukee.
Bill Stone and Gene Washington. 8 minutes, 50 seconds to play on the ball game here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. It is San Diego 31, the Packers 21. Fouts has had a field day. Now he unloads, and he's hit just as he releases the ball.
The Packers are claiming that Fouts threw the ball away. I think the official is saying that the ball was tipped. Doesn't matter. Now the problem here is Ernie Jackson, number 41, the top of your screen, misses his block. 53, Mike Douglas comes in, applies the pressure. The Packers are saying, look, threw the ball away. That's his second time. No flag.
Well, it is 3rd and 10, Gene. Do you go to Joyner?
Well, let me tell you something. Ernest Jackson is going to have to learn how to pick up a blitz block if he's going to play. There's more to just running the football as a running back. You have to be able to block, too. He's got to be able to pick up that blitz.
And here comes the blitz. Fouts it, fumble, and he goes down, fumbles the ball. He covered his own fumble, but the damage had been done, Gene.
Okay, let's watch Ernie Jackson, number 41. Let's see what he does this time. Well, he just gets pushed right back into the quarterback.
Ezra Johnson and Mike Douglas combined. The Packers have sacked Fouts 3 times today. Green Bay with a whole lot of time. 8:24 to play. Maury Buford is on to punt it. Good snap. No rush. And Maury booms it. Epps at the 38. Flag is down. And so is Epps. And there is some extracurricular activity going on. Holohan and Cliff Lewis, the Green Bay Packer linebacker, a little fisticuffing.
Phil, 8 minutes, 5 seconds ago, we have to remember that this Packer team is a big play offensive team. I mean, they can strike from anywhere on the field. James Lofton, well, I tell you, he can go get it.
Well, 2 of their 3 touchdowns, Gene, you're right. A drive started at their own 30-yard line once. It took them 1:13 seconds to go 70 yards. And in the third period, their touchdown began at their own 20-yard line. 2 minutes and 30 seconds later, they were in San Diego's end zone.
Number 28, receiving team, during the return, first down.
The penalty on Mike McLeod. The clock will roll in a moment. 8:05 to play. When it rolls, we will return.
5 of those touchdowns through the air. Reverse.
Double reverse. That's Lofton. The Chargers stay home. And Lyndon King takes him out.
James Lofton, big play man for the Packers, trying to spring him loose on a reverse. But as you mentioned, Phil, the Chargers stay home. There's number 57, Lyndon King. No place to go for Lofton. Now, what Lyndon King did to Lofton, you only do on your side of the field. I don't think he would have done that had it been over on the Packer bench.
You're right about that. Second down and 9 now. 7:59 to play. Chargers showing blitz. Timmy Fox, the safety. Now he moves way out. There is no blitz. Dickey looking for J.J. A flag is down. He's out of bounds. J.J. is out of bounds. Immediately following football coverage, we will join the Silver Spoons program in progress. In addition, all remaining NBC Network evening programs will also be seen over most of these stations, except for Pacific time zone stations, where those programs will be seen at their regular times.
The initial call was a holding call against the Packers. The official is consulting with the inside linebacker, Billy Ray Smith.
Seven minutes, 54 seconds to play in the ball game. San Diego, Gene, leading by 10, their biggest margin of the afternoon. You have the feeling that Forrest Gregg's bunch is going to have to produce something on this possession.
Listen for the call.
Holding. Offense. Still second down.
Phil, the tendency that the Chargers have had prior to this game is that they jumped out to a big lead, and then they tended to relax a little bit, protecting their lead. Other people have come on. That happened, I think, last week when they played the Lions at home in San Diego. Now, they're in a different situation. I think they're all aware they're 10 points ahead, but they know that Green Bay, with their personnel, they're capable of striking in a hurry. So I don't think there's going to be any let-up on the part of the Chargers.
It is second down and 20. Dickey. Ellis out of the backfield, and he is jammed at the 33. Coughs up the ball, but the whistle sounded. No fumble. Mike Green with the pop. So Ellis gets 9 of those 10 yards back. Well, Gene, the final, the Padres came from behind to defeat the Chicago Cubs 6-3. The Padres become the only team in National League history since the playoffs began to come back from a 2-0 deficit, winning 3 in a row from Chicago. The man they beat was Rick Sutcliffe. Here in Green Bay, 31-21 San Diego, 7 minutes, 11 seconds to play in the ball game. Dickey airing it out. Huffman. Oh, does he take a shot from Fox? And there should be a flag down over there, Gene Washington, and there is none.
You know, there is a rule against what they call hurdling, and that's just what he did, but he didn't get the flag. Paul Kaufman has the good hands, makes a nice reception, but he knows he doesn't have that blistering speed, so what he's going to try to do is, look at this, try to get over the potential tackler. If that's not hurdling, I don't know what is. Let's watch again. Hey, he gets up in the air pretty good. I don't know if he'll ever challenge Ronaldo Nehemiah, though, but that's not bad.
Dickey, play action, sideline for Lofton. He threw it away. Dickey under big pressure from Lyndon King. Len Dickey on today, 360 yards. Dan Fouts, 343 yards. This game, Gene, exactly what we talked about during NFL 84 this afternoon.
Both of these teams can move the football through the air. Dickey, when he gets the time, he's coming off of some nagging injuries. He's feeling better. His offensive line has given him more protection. And what you see today is a result of that. Last year, a terrific year, over 4,000 yards passing. He has the ability to get the job done.
Dickey, play action on 2nd and 10. Got time. Looking for Lofton.
I've said it before, but some people think that maybe I'm biased because he went to Stanford, but I think he's the most dangerous receiver in all of football. Look at this beautiful catch. Great concentration. That's good coverage from Gil Bird. But Lofton concentrates on the football, comes up with 6 points, and I believe that's the first touchdown from a wide receiver for the Packers.
And that is an unbelievable statistic. Garcia drills it through. You're absolutely right, Gene. Not only is that Lofton's first touchdown catch of the year, and this is game 6 of the NFL season, it is the first touchdown by a Packer wide receiver in 1984.
Well, Dan Fouts isn't the only quarterback who can find the one-on-one matchup. Dickey finds it with Lofton on the other end. 6 points.
Lofton 5 catches today now for 158 yards. On the other side of the ledger, Kellen Winslow, a dozen catches for 131 yards. Boy, Dickey, 385 yards, 25 of 38, 3 touchdowns. Dan Fouts, 27 of 44, 343 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Does this remind you of a Monday Night Football game here that was played against the, I think it was the Redskins.
It was the Washington Redskins.
Very similar.
Now, this also reminds me a little bit of a game the Chargers got involved in a couple of years ago up in your neck of the woods. San Francisco against Montana and the 49ers. Now, there you see it. The Packers have now gone the length of the football field, 66 yards or longer, in 3 occasions today. All 3 of those touchdown drives, less than 2.5 minutes. Short kick. That is Lionel James, and I'll tell you what, that guy is fearless. 5'6", 171-pound rookie out of Auburn. He just puts his helmet down and slams into the Packers at the 26-yard line. Well, as we told you, the San Diego Padres came from behind, 3 runs down today to defeat the Chicago Cubs. World Series opens Tuesday night. It's the Padres for the first time ever against the Detroit Tigers. You'll see it. Vin, Joe, Bob Costas. It all begins at 8 o'clock Eastern. Exclusively on NBC. Jackson, sweep left, turns it up, bangs to the 30 and is down there, a pickup of 4.
Now the Packers have decided to go with 5 defensive backs. The idea being they can get better coverage on the tight ends, maybe double covering with 2 cornerbacks instead of using a linebacker. Now, if San Diego knows they have 5 defensive backs in there, then they have an advantage in running the football because they can get the mismatch of a tight end blocking on a cornerback.
Oh, look at Kellen Winslow, his 13th catch today. And it's a first down out at the 39. John Anderson, 7th year out of Michigan, knocks him off his feet.
Well, when Fouts is throwing the football like that, there's not very much that the defense can do. John Anderson, as we watch from the end zone, you're going to see Winslow getting off the line, the left side of your screen. That's pretty good coverage from a linebacker considering who he's guarding. Fouts just throws such a beautiful pass. There's not very much the defense can do about that.
First down, San Diego. We are nearing the 5.5-minute point. There's the give. Jackson's got it. Opens a big hole. A first down as Jackson rambles for 13 yards.
That's what happens when you go with your 5 defensive backs. You're going to give up something. You're going to give up your defense against the run. The 49ers in the title game out in San Francisco against Dallas when they went to the Super Bowl. They did this very same thing. Dallas came with 5 defensive backs. The 49ers ran the football down the field. The Chargers have seen that with the Packers. They're going to say, okay, if you're going to play 5 defensive backs on a rundown, we'll run the ball. We'll get the mismatch on the blocks.
And they are getting that, Gene, on this drive. 4 minutes, 41 seconds left. The first down for San Diego. 4 down linemen for the Packers, and here comes Jackson. He picks up 1, maybe 2. Mark Lee, the corner on the left side, up to make the hit on Jackson. What a job Ernest Jackson has done today, Gene. His 2nd year out of Texas A&M. Jackson today, 30 carries for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Compare that to 46 yards for the entire Packer team. You're right. He's done an excellent job of running the football. But, again, he had to learn that he was giving his play away by just running inside all the time in those sweeps. Finally, they got him to stretch it out. Now he's able to cut back, come inside.
2nd down and 8 now. Fouts unloads in a hurry. There's Kellen Winslow again. To the 36-yard line. Winslow with 14 catches today equals a personal high.
Well, number 14 comes on a situation where Winslow is they're trying to guard him with the linebacker. That's virtually impossible, even if that linebacker is Mike Douglas, who does a good job of coverage, but it's a mismatch. Douglas can cover a running back maybe coming out of the backfield, but he can't cover Winslow one-to-one.
What a game Dick Enberg and Merlin Olsen saw at the Coliseum. The Raiders in Seattle tied at 14 as the 4th quarter unfolded. Saw Los Angeles come back with 2 touchdowns in the final 6 minutes of play to win that one. Fouts unloads, looking for Holohan, and quite frankly, Dan just threw that ball away.
Well, you can see that Dan's a little slow getting up, and that's because of the tremendous heat the Packer defense put on him, blitzing one of their linebackers. But Fouts has done a super job all day long of being able to pick up those blitzes, find the open receiver. 362 yards.
Yeah, and Dickey's thrown for 385 yards. Well, you talk about some real battles going on today, Gene. Fouts and Dickey. How about Lofton and Kellen Winslow? Oh, my goodness. 3:02 to play on the ball game. San Diego up by 3. There's the quick pitch over the middle to Holohan. He'll be short.
He fumbled.
They're going to give the ball to Green Bay. The Packers have it. Now, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's not. The ball is down.
The officials have disagreed.
Now the officials won a conference. They're all coming away from the pack. Hold on a minute.
Let's watch again now. If his shoulder is down before the ball pops loose, or his... Let's watch. Oh, the ball is loose. Oh,
my goodness.
Oh, that is a fumble.
The only other thing they could have possibly been thinking is whether he was in the grasp and his forward progress had stopped.
Well, that would be an awfully quick whistle.
You're absolutely right.
That would be awfully quick. Let's watch again. See if his knee is down. Oh, wait a minute now. His knee did touch. If his knee goes down, they consider that being down. If your knee goes down or your elbow. His knee did hit down, and the official saw it, so maybe that's the way he made his call.
They'll give the ball back to San Diego on 3rd down and 4. 2 minutes, 31 seconds to play. Fouts wants to put it up. There's Winslow. He has the first down at the 21. Kellen, a personal high, 15 catches today.
And he has paid for more than half of these. Again, Kellen drops the ball, the blitz, but this time I think he's clearly down before there. He's down, ball pops out, play is dead.
The clock rolls. We are at the 2-minute warning. Forrest will not get the timeout. 2 minutes left. The clock is stopped. The San Diego Chargers have the football, 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 22. And now, here comes another one of those fantastic finishes.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes.
Tackled inside the line of scrimmage, inside the yard markers, and keep the clock running.
Here we go. Bonerska booms it. It is taken at the 8-yard line. That is Epps. He is across the 22, out near the 23. A minute 28 to play. The Packers will start from their own 23. And boy, listen to that audio down on the playing field. I'll tell you what, you don't think these ball clubs want this? Packers trying to break a 4-game losing streak. First down. They came out of the chute and beat the Cardinals 24-23. Since then, they've lost to the Raiders, the Bears, the Cowboys, and last week to Tampa Bay.
Well, if I were the Chargers, one thing I would do for sure is put 2 men on James Lofton. Now, if you're the Packers, you would anticipate that, and you may go someplace else.
Well, you're absolutely right. They are doubling Lofton on the near side. Dickey's not even looking at him.
Oh, interception.
Billy Ray Smith has the football. The
job of throwing the football today. Chargers coming up with a big play. Billy Ray Smith, inside linebacker, with the key interception.
Well, Dickey had come into the ball game having thrown 6 interceptions. He has now added 2 more to that.
2, 4.
And that sends the crowd of 56,000 and change for the turnstiles here at Lambeau. Outs will go down on one knee. You can bet the Packers will utilize their last time out. But San Diego, Gene, will head home with a 4-2 record.
That is Green Bay's
one game behind the
that is Green Bay's
Los Angeles Raiders.
Timeout.
Next week, San Diego takes on the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead.
Well, there'll be an awful lot of footballs in the air in that game, but I don't think you'll see a game any more exciting with the types of receivers that are in this game. 7 touchdowns, 5 of those through the air. Some terrific performance of throwing the football by both teams.
Well, immediately following our football coverage, we'll join Silver Spoon's program in progress. That is replacing the Punky Brewster program at this time period, this week only. In addition, all remaining NBC Network evening programs will also be seen over most of these stations, except on the West Coast, where the programs will be seen at their regular times tonight. Well, we've seen an outstanding ball game. As Gene and I alluded to earlier on NFL 84, we thought we would see the shootout. The great skill at the wide receiver spots. We have seen just that. Case in point, James Lofton, 5 catches, 158 yards and a touchdown. How about Kellen Winslow, a career-high 15 receptions, 157 yards. The man calling the signals, number 14 for San Diego, Dan Fouts, 31 completions on 50 attempts for 376 yards and 3 TDs. And for the man who will be on the losing end, Len Dickey, it was an outstanding day. 25 of 39, 388 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions, and the second of which was very costly, Gene.
You know, the Chargers this season have jumped off to big scores early in the football game. But what impressed me about them in this game was that they went in at halftime, tied up, and they came back out in the second half, and they did what they had been doing in the first half before. They came back scoring points. Prior to this, they really hadn't done much in the second half, but they had always had the big lead. When they needed it, they came up with it on offense and on defense. And as you mentioned before, the key interception, Billy Ray Smith, the inside linebacker.
Well, that'll do it. We're at 19:18. The clock will run. The Packers cannot stop it. And San Diego has rolled to a 34-28 win over the Green Bay Packers. And I suppose that will send Axe back to the drawing board. So that does it